This question, who are you, is one that honestly keeps me up at night. It sends me into a spiral. And it's also the question that I'm most excited to find the answer to in this lifetime. And so, how do we find out who we are? How do we find who we are? And I think we first have to let go of everything that we're not.
Unleash the untapped potential within you as we dive fearlessly into the realms of healing, personal growth, self-love, and uncharted territories of the human experience. Join us as we navigate relationships, conquer career and business milestones, and explore the depths of spirituality. This isn't just a podcast, it's a manifesto for the resilient, the ambitious, the soul-searching women and men of today. Grab your coffee and let's dive in with Beyond the Surface.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is that you are tuning in, watching this episode. Welcome back here to the podcast. And I don't know if it's just me, but I've been asking myself this question since I was about 19, 20 years old. I think really when I signed up for this public speaking competition, and I was really asking myself, like, what is my message? Like, what am I here to share? What am I here to do? And the thing is like, this question is not about the labels, right? The labels of I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, I'm a healer, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a wife. I don't think it's, I think it's much deeper than that. Because if anything, labels have a way of putting ourselves in a box and limiting us. And so I feel like in ways I've been slowly climbing out of this box that I've put myself in. And this question, who are you, is one that honestly keeps me up at night. It sends me into a spiral. And it's also the question that I'm most excited to find the answer to in this lifetime. And so, how do we find out who we are? How do we find who we are? And I think we first have to let go of everything that we're not. The first stage of alchemy is calcination. And I've been really fascinated about alchemy recently, especially from the spiritual lens. And so in the spiritual lens, this first stage in alchemy is where we break free from our attachments. Sometimes it's a traumatic experience, unfortunately, that sparks this, but sometimes it's just something that's happening slowly over time. And if you've been here for a while, you'll know that 4 years ago, I started the Studio Press. Shortly after starting the Studio Press, I partnered with Tina, and then we dissolved our partnership recently, where she went off to pursue her soul's work as an energy healer, Reiki teacher, and who I was as a business partner and entrepreneur crumbled. And I was attached to, I'm a business partner. I was attached to that. And so this questioning period of doing it by myself was something I had to work through and remind myself of how capable I am. And so the thing is we can try to repel from this process, or we can lean into this process. And that's the choice that we have to make. But the question, of course, still remains, how do we find who we are? I think from what I've experienced recently through my own journey is that through living, through conversations that we have or don't have, through silence, through intentionality. I think it's possible that we can find the answer to this massive, huge question. And I also think it's going to always be evolving in ways because we're evolving. So I think it's going to constantly be evolving and changing. And knowing that also is kind of like you can't repel that. You can't resist that that is going to be the case, that who you are right now, today, in this moment, may change in 5 years or 10 years. Embracing that is a really big piece of this too, right? We don't want to resist who we are, right? But I think in doing these things, in all those pieces of living and just simply living, the truth of this answer arises. And it's like, sifting kind of through the sandbox, trying to find things. You're doing this sifting and sorting, and you're really like digging to find. And it can be a scary journey, it can be a frustrating journey, and it can also be really exciting, right? When you sift through something, through like rocks and whatnot, and then you find this like beautiful rock or pebble or stone. It's exciting. It's an exciting moment. And that's what the journey looks like at the same time too. And so the invitation that I want to leave you with is to get curious about the parts of yourself that you're clinging so hard to. Why are you clinging so hard to these labels, these aspects of yourself? Especially when they are wanting to be let go of, right? And also the flip side is, what are those aspects of yourself that you're in ways denying? Because that's a piece of our truth too. The things that maybe we deny because of fear, we feel like we're not good enough to embrace that aspect of ourselves, fear of what other people are going to think, how others are going to feel. What are those pieces, those aspects of who you are that you are clinging to? And also the ones that you are denying. And I would love, if you feel comfortable, to comment on this episode or DM me if you want to have a conversation in private. But I would just love to hear what comes up for you in your reflection. And you'll be helping me with research for my second book that I'm writing. And when it's ready, I'm deciding in this moment, I will send you that like draft when it's ready, so you can be one of those first readers that gives your take and your perspective and your opinion. I would love for you to share if you feel comfortable and safe to do so. I love you, and I hope you have the best day.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to leave a review and continue the conversation with me over on social media, and we'll see you in the next episode.